Welcome to Nostalgia Blast, the series where I combine two of my favorite things, cartoons and nostalgia. In this episode, I'll be going over some of those super nostalgic Spongebob video games. For the record, I never really played console versions, so I'm not going to be talking about those. Anyway, grab a comfy seat and we can, quite literally, dive right into these nostalgic games. I'm starting off with the 2002 PC game called Employee of the Month. This is a point-and-click adventure game that I remember playing all the time, and I'm pretty sure it's the first SpongeBob video game I ever played. The gameplay is your typical point-and-click style, as you go to several areas and do tasks for various characters. SpongeBob wins the Employee of the Month award, making him Employee of the Year. As a prize, he gets 2 tickets to the Neptune's Paradise amusement park.
Gee, thanks, Mr. Krabs! You must have spent a fortune on these! Let me tell Patrick. Thanks again!
Due to unforeseen events, SpongeBob and Patrick end up in Rock Bottom. There's an entire chapter down there, and it's a pretty spooky place. It's nice that we see more of Rock Bottom since it really only appeared in that one old episode, and we haven't heard much else about it.
You don't work here, and you aren't carrying any tools, so you aren't a repairman. Anyone with one eye can see that.
Anyway, SpongeBob and Patrick eventually get out of Rock Bottom to find out that Sandy is building a rocket ship that could take them to Neptune's Paradise. There's a bunch of puzzles throughout all this, but then at the end they go to the theme park. Overall, I feel like this is one of those games that probably isn't super good, but the nostalgia makes it amazing in my opinion. If I go back today and start playing it again, I won't care how bad the game is since it's such a good memory of my childhood. Next, I'll be talking about Revenge of the Flying Dutchman for Game Boy Advance. Again, this is one of the most nostalgic SpongeBob games from my childhood. It's a lot different than Employee of the Month because this is actually a full 2D platformer without real puzzles or quests. You use bubbles to destroy obstacles in your path, and there are other types of bubbles that do various things. There's a bouncy bubble, a bubble that floats up to take you to higher platforms, and a bunch more. It's hard to describe just how nostalgic this is to me because I played this game all the time. The story involves the Flying Dutchman trying to hypnotize the people of Bikini Bottom, but honestly I didn't really pay attention to that when I played. The gameplay and overall feel of the game is what I cared about most since there isn't a whole lot of story. I don't know if you guys played this or not, but there is this one carnival level that I just really love for no particular reason. You go through bouncy houses and on a Ferris wheel, and it just feels so good, especially with that nostalgic music to go along with it. My second favorite level would have to be the one with all the snow, mostly because snow is just a really cool environment in games. This is a solid platformer even if you play it now, and still the nostalgic feel that comes when you play it is incredible, yet hard to accurately describe. I guess if any of you guys played this as kids, you'll understand what I'm feeling right now. Let's talk about Battle for Bikini Bottom on PC. It starts off with a horrible animation of Plankton building an army of robots, but then again this was the early 2000s, so you can't expect much high quality.
Today I will conquer Bikini Bottom, and you will all follow my orders.
You stink.
Robots are attacking Bikini Bottom and it's up to us to stop them. There are various places we can go with many mini-games in each one. Basically, this is just a bunch of small games with lots of variety and cool stuff. I don't know exactly why, but I really liked this bowling level. Although it's odd that the robots would voluntarily be pins in that, but whatever. In this game there's a ton of trivia sections which honestly got boring since it happened so much. Usually the questions weren't too difficult and the answers disappeared as the seconds went on.
What color are Patrick's shorts?
Although that one part of the game where you play as Sandy and you lasso those robot jellyfish took forever for me. I remember playing this part over and over because I was failing and the jellyfish were too overpowered. But yeah, there's not much else to say about this game. It was fun and nostalgic, but still nothing super amazing. One really nostalgic SpongeBob game is the PC one All About the Movie. Most of the game is just the story of the movie, although there are a few moments where things are different. It's a nice game to play if you want something to go along with the movie since you see moments happen in different ways. It's like you're reliving the experience of watching the movie, yet it still has a fresh and unique feel to it.
Nothing can stop us now, Patrick. Feel the wind in your hair. That's the taste of freedom in your mouth.
I thought it was a bug.
One bad part about this game is that some of the puzzles are extremely easy, and I use the term puzzles lightly. Sometimes you talk to a character and then they ask you to do something. You go to a room and do that thing and you're done. That was supposed to be a puzzle. Either way, I still think of this game as nostalgic and a fun way to relive the movie. While it's not as memorable as Employee of the Month, it's still worth a replay if you gave it a go in your childhood. But if you have never seen this game before or barely know anything about it, then playing it now would probably just be a waste of time.
I'm a goofy goober! I've got to get the notes of this song right, or it won't destroy Plankton's mind control helmets.
Nighty Nightmare for the PC is another SpongeBob game I'm going to talk about. This game is just about going into dreams of several characters and doing whatever they're thinking of. Honestly, this isn't extremely nostalgic to me since it's the newest one I've played on the list, but still it was nice when I played it. The one aspect of the game I really didn't like is that some of the things were like real-time strategy, which definitely is not my favorite video game genre. Playing this wouldn't be as nostalgic as the other games on the list, but still I think it's worth a mention. Supersponge on the Game Boy Advance is an old game that you may have played. The story begins with SpongeBob looking for the best birthday present ever for Patrick. He goes on an adventure through various environments in search of a present, using his karate skills to attack everything in his path. Am I the only one who couldn't get past this big jellyfish boss no matter how many times I tried? Seriously, I remember playing this so much, but I kept dying because of how unfair the fight was. All those little jellyfish that go after you while you fight the big one was also annoying, and this was the first boss in the game, so that really sucked. Anyway, you go on more adventures through caves and interesting places. One of these really interesting places is inside of a whale. Yeah, you actually go inside a whale and then you fight this weird blue floating thing that attacks you for no reason at all. The final boss is this weird dog mermaid thing, and honestly I don't know how to describe it. I have no idea why the enemies in this game look this way. After you beat the boss, you see a screen of the SpongeBob gang throwing a party for Patrick, and then it just ends. Overall, this game is nice, but it's also extremely short, so the replay value is small. However, this is still a really nostalgic experience for me. Anyway, that's all for this Nostalgia Blast. Be sure to give a thumbs up and subscribe for more awesome cartoon videos. Comment below to tell me what you think. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.